And this is a recent game in which I was playing the Tier 10 American cruiser, the Des Moines. The Des Moines, of course, is known for having extremely fast reload times and very good AA. If you notice in this game, there's 4 carriers, so I'll have some planes to shoot down here. However, the downside of the Des Moines is that because it's an American cruiser, the shell arcs are a little bit high at max range. So if you do shoot at people that are about 18 kilometers away, it takes about 14 seconds for your shells to get there, which is more than enough time for them to dodge. However, if you get close, like within 10 kilometers or so, or maybe 15, this ship is extremely deadly. There's also other minor things to note about this firepower too. The back turret on this ship is actually not very angled well. So if you pay attention and look at this back turret here, you can only shoot at about this sort of angle, which means that your front turrets, like if you're pointing now on towards an enemy, only the front turrets are of much use. In any case, as this game starts, the gearing on our team wants to look for the enemy Shimakaze, which is already spotted in the middle of the map by our carriers. And now this gearing is just gonna go attack the Shimakaze. You should notice here that the Shimakaze is actually within my range also, but I am not shooting at it at all. That is because with the shell travel time of about 13 seconds, it's almost impossible to hit the destroyer at that range. So I should mention that the Lexingtons on both of our teams are strike, as you can tell by the plane loadout here, and also the planes that are coming in from the right. This is a really weird move by this Lexington, because he's trying to bomb a Baltimore and a Des Moines here, which is not really going to end well, so he's going to lose planes here for no reason. In fact, the other 3 squads don't even drop on us. Meanwhile, I've been spotted, but I still have not shot Shimakaze because it's too far away to effectively attack. The gearing, however, is doing a good job of charging in, and meanwhile, all the bombers are going after the destroyer, which is a good thing. And here I noticed some shots coming in towards our Baltimore. But we haven't spotted anything there yet. Now we do. It's a Chape. So if you notice my aiming here and how far I'm leading, I think I still probably under a little bit this shot, therefore it's not gonna hit. Like I'm not even watching this shot because there's very little chance of going. But on the bright side, I noticed that our gearing is with Shimakaze already, so that's why this game got off to such a good start. Here this Mogami does some weird move shooting at me. It's not quite what you want to do if you're seeing a Des Moines that's kind of looking your way, because you can't really kill it very fast, and you're just going to cause the Des Moines to shoot at you. So this is kind of a strange decision that Mogami decided to shoot at. Okay. Meanwhile, there's some planes over there. Since I do not have the last AA upgrade, so my AA only goes up to 6 kilometers. That's why my AA isn't firing on any of those planes. Now at this point, look at the map. A is really hotly contested. B, the gearing pretty much solidly has B. So it's basically up to me and these 2 other cruisers near me to try to take C. Now during the game, as I'm approaching this plane in front, I slow down. This is because the Chapeyev over in this region of the map, he's trying to shoot at me, it looks like. And I don't really want to get shot at for free while I'm trying to shoot at this Mogami. So I'm just gonna shoot this Mogami with my front turrets while I'm keeping this island between me and the Chapeyev. Also note that I'm not even making any attempt to shoot my back turrets because it's too much work to get them into angle. They also don't spin very fast. That's one thing you'll notice if you're coming from the Baltimore. The turrets just doesn't spin as fast, it seems like, on the Des Moines. Certainly, like at this angle, only my front turrets can actually shoot. And right now I'm almost like gonna slow down so I don't get the Chapeyev. You notice these shots that are going straight past me because I'm not going in full speed. And although I really want to shoot at him, because he's shooting at me, it's gonna be impossible or too difficult. And I take like one shot for a couple hundred, which is not really that important. But with that glance, I look around the map and I see that really there's only these two tier 8 cruisers here. So this is when it becomes important for our team to push, because their cruisers on this side are weaker than our cruisers. We can't waste the time that we're gaining by that counter on A, therefore we need to kind of push up. Meanwhile, if you were paying attention, the gearing in the middle of the map has already killed the Atago, so we have a solid hold on B. Now it just remains to hold C. I am trying to shoot this Mogami over the island here, but because occasionally it just messes up and shoots her shells into the island, like here, right? So. Plus, although I'm not spotted, the Mogami is actually not broadside towards me. Interesting, but somehow it knows that I'm gonna shoot at it, so it's pretty difficult for me to instantly try to kill this thing. Yeah, so maybe did like 100 damage there. However, I mean, in the end, the Mogami doesn't actually know where I am very easily. So by the time that he notices I'm here, I already got a broadside shot on him. This should be death, basically. Yeah, so that's I mean, at that range, 7 kilometers, you should be able to hit citadels pretty easily. Now I'm sitting on C. So if I cap this, which is what I'm going to do, it puts our team up a cap, which will give us a lot more points. If you look at the middle of the map, you notice the gearing is going towards A. To stall, basically. So we have more time to cap. That's exactly the right move. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna shoot this Chapea. So, if you notice here, first I select the dash torpedo, of course, but notice how my turrets are. Like, only the front turret is actually shooting. Yeah, notice the gap between the two aim circles? So the back turret actually can't shoot at that angle. So I have to turn my ship a little bit more. Got 2 citadels on that salvo, that's pretty good. But in any case, you actually have to turn yourself a fairly decent angle to be able to shoot all 3 turrets. Now, most of the time this isn't a problem, you can just use your front turrets. But occasionally, when you need to output like the maximum amount of DPM, and like maybe the enemy is not shooting at you, then that's when you should actually use all your turrets. And finish off this Chapea with no problem, because I mean it's a tier 10 cruiser against 2 tier 8 cruisers, right? So. And at this point, I take a look at the scoreboard. If you do this, you notice that both of our Iowa and our Des Moines somehow died already. They've just lost a bunch of tier 8 cruisers on the Shimakaze. So this is actually not in our favor right now, because we have no more battleships, but they still have Montana. Basically, if the Montana gets lucky and one-shots people, like us cruisers, this game ends very badly. Now, this gearing is playing pretty well here. He has 2 kills, right? And this gearing is also tankling up all the battleships that are on A, or all the ships that are on A. So every moment we hold on to C and B, we're getting more points. That's why we're up by about 140 points right now. Unfortunately, the gearing, I think, is a little bit too close to these ships, so he'll actually get spotted. And once he gets spotted, it becomes kind of hard for him to keep messing around with those ships over there. Meanwhile, I'm making my way to B also to, try to stall a little bit for us to get more points. This Zhao kind of wants help for some reason. The Zhao is also a very, very great tier 10 cruiser. It's actually much better at long range than the Moines is, because the shell travel time is a lot better. However, its DPM is quite low, so when you get into very, very close ranges, it doesn't actually perform all that well, as you will see later in the video, of course. In any case, this Zhao needs help. He seems really far away from everyone, so I'm not sure why. Meanwhile, the only thing that's in range is this Montana, and I'm actually going to shoot at max range, because Montana is a battleship, so I'll probably not be able to dodge. But still, look at how many of my shots are actually just missing. Because shooting at this sort of long range, due to the shell travel time, is actually not that easy. Luckily, the Montana is completely distracted by the destroyer torpedoes there. More importantly though, up to the right, you notice there's a Des Moines on this corner of the screen, right? That's the ship I'm much more worried about than Montana. Montana right now is distracted by our torpedoes and torpedo bombers. Des Moines, however, if he comes behind that island, can really easily hit me, which is why I should turn away from this angle so I don't get side. Because being broadside to Des Moines at 10 kilometers is very dangerous. And see, I am already turned away from this Des Moines at this point. And he shoots at me, and then I'm gonna shoot at him. So I take a couple of thousand, yep. Now keep shooting at this Des Moines for a while. Notice while I'm doing this, I'm actually completely broadside to the Montana, so this is actually not the ideal thing to do, but oh well. And I get a Citadel, which is good. So it looks like the Des Moines is turning around, back off, right? This is when I need to take care of a much bigger problem. That's the fact I'm actually also broadside towards all of these ships over here. So this is why I need to quickly turn around and actually run towards that gap on the map, right in front of me. Because getting shot by like ships over here is not that fun. This Des Moines only has about 3,000 hit points, so it's important to finish him off before he like actually shoots at me too many times. And there's actually 3 ships here right now. I believe there should be 4. Maybe it appears in a second. But at this point, if I recall, I was running away from like all these ships. Yeah, there's 4 ships here that I'm running away from. It's actually quite hard to fight while running away in the Des Moines if there's more than like 1 ship. Because the turn speed is not the greatest, so you're kind of forced to like push targets and stuff. Notice I still haven't even killed that 3,000 hit point Des Moines over there. It's mostly because only my back turrets can actually hit it right now. For the front 2 turrets, like, because they reload so fast, I have to like spin them and hit somebody else. Actually make use of my reload time here. So now I'm gonna try to swing my turrets the other way. And you notice how long it's gonna take for the front 2 turrets to spin around. They really don't spin that fast. So this is when like the Des Moines actually has a problem, is that you only have 1 back turret, so like running away like this and you're dodging left and right, like you're really only getting like a third of your firepower. Luckily for me, however, this Montana in this game decides to not shoot at me for some reason at this range. Although he could easily kill me because of battleship, but in any case, I continue to pelt this Des Moines for a while. And notice right now, so far, I only have 5 flankers. Right? No bombing run is coming towards me right now. This will change soon. And meanwhile, Montana is still paying no attention. This Des Moines is still shooting at me. Notice he's not actually hitting me that much either because I'm maneuvering and the shell travel time is quite long. Here, notice I shot my back turrets at the Des Moines and shot my front at the Montana. That's not because I expected to kill him with that salvo. It's because my front turrets actually couldn't turn far enough to hit the Des Moines. So yeah, so you notice the angle on the turrets aren't the greatest. It's pretty good, but it's not great. So now at this point it's 4v6, yep. And I have 3 kills, and I really want to finish off this Montana at this point, because that's the only battleship they have left. So while I'm shooting at this, you notice that our carrier is actually doing a great play here. That torpedo drop is amazing. Montana has about 20,000 hit points. Oh, and here comes a bomber run on me. But upgraded A, right, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, notice that where the torpedoes are on that ship. Yeah, that Montana's dead for those torpedoes. And then, even more awesome, our Lexington manages an amazing attack run against the Ruin too. And that looks like it's gonna hit like 3 torpedoes. Yep. So there, our carriers really knew what they were doing. That instantly like makes it a 4v4, which is much more winnable. Unfortunately, the Zal is really far away, and I don't really know how much hit points it has at this point. So like 40,000. And it just killed our Baltimore, so it's 3v4 now. So at this point, what I'm thinking is I only have 35,000 hit points, and the best thing for the enemy to do actually is to sit on B. If they sit on B, there's no good way for me to approach them, because I have to expose myself, right? However, there is a problem with that strategy. If they do sit on B, the carriers do get some time to bomb them, and the Zal and the Oborovsk doesn't have the greatest AA. Nevertheless, they still have 2 carriers, so they could just like have fighters here and then just stall, and that could win the game, right? Also, here's something weird too. The enemy, I believe that the Essex bombers decides to go after the Taiho. And I'm not worried about this at all because the Taiho's full. And secondly, from this patch onwards, all tier 8 plus carriers have defensive fire. It's not really clear how much damage it's going to do. Like, so they drop and he does 4,000 damage or so and lost like pretty much the whole squad of dive bombers there. So I'm not really sure why that attack run went towards Taiho. On the other hand, if he bombed me, I would be down a couple thousand health, maybe. But I'm not too sure about whether he could do anything anyway. So there's this now. And then I get spotted, which means, yep, there's something close by, and happens to be this destroyer here. This is not where you want to be when there's a destroyer. So he drops smoke, although that's useless anyway because I have radar, right? Even though I don't put radar up right now. I could put radar up, but it turns out that radar wasn't even necessary. Just took 3 salvos. Alright, so here, you know, standard point yourself towards the destroyer, that sort of rocket and torpedoes, that sort of thing. And now this is the more interesting fight here, because I'm actually down about almost 9,000 hit points right now against the south. So I'm gonna have to like just destroy this guy, right? Of course the strategy here is to point Bell first and just shoot AP or HE at him until he does something. You don't want to turn because if you turn you're gonna get Citadel. So only the front turret can work. That's good for me actually because Zhao has 4 turrets, but only the front 2 turrets can shoot at me right now. And I have much better reload time. So he's shooting at this stuff, and somehow this salvo misses, which is really strange because most people don't miss at that range. And here he has to dodge these torpedoes. That's why he did that turn. Unfortunately, doing that turn is gonna let me do some AP rounds into him. Notice he's not really that flat angled, but I still get a Citadel there because the Moines AP normalization is. So now I'm actually up by about 8,000 hit points. Now 10,000 hit points. Notice also the Zhao's turrets don't turn that fast either. So like, only now does he manage to shoot it. Notice that one of his turrets is still pointed the other way somehow. So, and here I'm not paying attention to how many planes he goes at, but I'm killing planes. And now that he's pointing bow towards me, I'm just gonna lob HE. And you can see AA going off everywhere, but I think at this moment in the game, my mind was completely focused on killing this stuff. And of course, he's gonna turn a little bit, in which case I'm just gonna lob AP at him. This next shot should just kill him. Because once you're at like this sort of angle, like, yeah, any shot like this kills you. And the only reason why he turned like that was to drop torpedoes. Expected, right? And also with that kill, I get my Confederate back. And looking at the results, this is already 120k damage. So during that whole fight there, I wasn't paying attention at all to the planes, and I somehow got 39 plane kills. Or 40 plane kills. Oh yeah, there's more bombers coming in, right, okay. Yeah, well I have repair up in 3 seconds, so it doesn't matter. But so while that whole time not paying attention, I still got like 40 plane kills. Which is pretty nice. But overall this game, I mean, I have to say it wasn't mostly me actually. Honestly, the 2 carriers killing the Montana and the Rune during the middle here, that was the big swing with this game. Additionally, that gearing, tangling up that Montana right around this area on the map, that was the other big important moment of this game. Ultimately, all I did was pick up the pieces, very much. Especially, can't emphasize this enough, that carrier drop on the Rune and the Montana really swung the game. And now if you look at the scorecard, you see that this is almost 1 million credits, 6,000 EXP, 9 fires, which is not that many actually. and 193 hits. And I killed 42 planes, even though really I wasn't paying attention during the part where I was killing the plane. Pretty much only 5 planes were killed before that engagement. Counted later. Then the other about 30 or so planes are all killed when I was fighting that Zao, even though I wasn't actually paying attention or targeting any of the planes. If you look at individual results, I have 4.2k base EXP, which is a lot. 42 plane kills, a Kraken and a Confederate. And looking at the breakdown, most of the damage came from AP. That makes sense, because most of the fighting was done at pretty close range. The only time where I was actually noticeably shooting HE everywhere was when I was trying to lob shots at the Montana. And that didn't last that long, although I still did 30,000 damage with that. Anyway, overall the Moines is a pretty cool ship. The turrets don't turn as fast as you would believe, but only having 2 turrets in the front is still good enough most of the time. And also in a bow-on-bow fight, like at that close range, it's very, very hard to beat the Moines. You basically should, if you're in a Zao, trade HE and hope to win, basically. Trying to torpedo will often get you killed because the reload time on the Moines is so short that it can sit it on you very, very easily. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed this game.